nobody heard about this NCPI since yesterday.
Yes.
What is this party? Where does it exist? It seems that they have some registered address. No, it's like a shell company. It's like a shell party, So financial manipulation needs shell companies. Political manipulation needs shell political parties. But now BJP is taking it to another level. They are creating a market which doesn't exist earlier. Earlier there was a market of elected representatives. So every time there would be a vote of confidence, there will be a market of members of parliament. But BJP is creating a marketplace of political parties. It is more than clear now that the BJP government is setting new standards in terms of misusing of state power to influence not only the electoral process but also what Rahul Gandhi has very correctly pointed out, that it is not only now vote chori, it is now seat chori.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Trinamool Congress rebel MPs have decided to join an obscure political party, which is a Tripura-based outfit. It's rather a fringe outfit. Nobody knows. It's a registered party, but not recognized. So it belongs to the category of registered, non-recognized parties, which is called Nationalist Citizens Party of India. And these rebel TMC MPs have decided to merge with the NCPI. And this, of course, is one of the biggest crises which Mamata Banerjee has faced since the formation of the party in 1998. Now, people are estimating, they are speculating as to why the TMC rebel faction chose to merge with a fringe outfit like NCPCI. Now, there were various reasons which have come along, but we'll discuss the larger picture. The first reason, of course, which everyone is discussing is that for the rebels, obscurity was not a liability, but it was a strategy. Then people are saying that this is less of a political merger than a legal advice. And this outfit provides legitimacy as well, which even BJP couldn't have provided. Then another point which is coming along since morning is that this move was rather aimed at detaching the parliamentary wing from Mamata's control. So all these points have come along. But in the morning, there was a slight confusion because one of the founders of the NCPI, they said that they were not aware of any merger. And this was an outfit which fought against Mamata Banerjee. So there was immense confusion, but people are still wondering as to what are the motives behind the merger of the 20 rebel TMC MPs with NCPI. Joining me this evening is Prasenjit Bose, who is an economist. He's the chairman of the SIR committee of the West Bengal Congress, and now he's part of the Congress party as well. Thank you so much, Prasenjit, for joining. And how would you see this move of 20 TMC MPs, the rebel MPs, merging with NCPI? Why did they choose to merge with such a fringe outfit which nobody even knew?
Well, it is more than clear that this is plan B. I think the plan A was to defect over to the BJP directly. I'm sure that is what most of these people wanted, because that is what has been happening in West Bengal since the election results have come, that, overnight all level functionaries of the Trinamool Congress are trying to defect to the BJP. But there is a pushback from within the BJP, because those who were fighting against the TMC, they don't want all the TMC people to overnight switch over. So that's one reason, that there is a pushback from the BJP. But the chief minister, as well as, I'm sure that the more influential sections of the BJP's national leadership, they do not want to lose this opportunity to weaken the opposition in India, the India bloc, and
Are
to,
you saying very clearly, Prasenjit, that this is because of the resistance from within the BJP that they have thought of merging the 20 rebel MPs with NCPI?
certainly there is, see, the if you it's more than obvious that this nobody heard about this NCPI since yesterday. Which
Yes.
is what is this party? Where does it exist? It seems that they have some registered address from West Bengal, Howrah in West Bengal.
Tripura-based
Uh,
party, everyone knows.
no. They fought elections in Tripura, but
Ah,
their registered address of their, whatever headquarters or whatever is from Howrah. That's what I have been told. Nobody knows this party. So, who are its office bearers? What is the percentage of votes that these people, this party has got in the past elections, either in West Bengal or anywhere else? No, I don't know. It's like a shell company. It's like a shell party, like you open shell companies to do all kinds of all kinds of rerouting of international finance and so on. So financial manipulation needs shell companies. Political manipulation needs shell political parties. So these are like that.
oh,
They are
that's
not.
an interesting phrase. That's an interesting phrase you are using. It's a shell political party, like the shell companies.
Yeah, so and there are many. If you look at older debates, there was many of these parties. There are reports on this. But I remember the reports on black money, illicit money. They used to refer to all these political parties which were registered for the purpose of soliciting funds alone. They would not contest elections. They would not get any substantial vote. Yet they would get registered as political parties, precisely because this has also become a way of making money. So I suspect that it is this case because of the behavior of this party, because they have allowed their party to be used in this game that is being played. I'm not saying that every small party that is registered is meant for this, but this party, certainly there is something wrong with the way they are behaving. And my basic point is that the, just in order to bypass or circumvent the provisions of the anti-defection law, this party has been, arranged by the powers that be, and these people, these MPs who want to, the potential defectors of the from the Trinamool Congress, they have been offered a parking lot that you park here for the time being, vote
Yeah.
for us as and when required in the legislations, and help the NDA weaken the India's strength in the parliament, and then we
What
will
you
see.
No, but it's like pure utility. It's a political utility of these MPs. BJP will try and use them, and then they will also throw them when they are not needed. But do you think that eventually, what is going to be the future of this rebel faction, who with whichever party they get merged with?
Well, I think that future, in terms of the medium term, obviously at some point of time their tenure will come to an end, and I'm sure that these people, unless they find refuge in any of the bigger parties, especially the BJP, I think that the possibility of these MPs getting re-elected again is, it's marginal, either independently or otherwise. My point is that if these were real political leaders, then they should have had the courage. Even if I can understand that they are completely disillusioned with the TMC, and they want to part company, it is another matter that if they should also be questioned that just one day before the election, where were all these concerns about the TMC of Trinamool being corrupted, Trinamool being anti-democratic and so on? Where were these concerns? These people were very
Also
much
wonder
active.
that these 20 rebel MPs, when they go back to their constituency, they fought elections on a TMC symbol on the basis of what Mamata Banerjee's leadership provided. What are they going to tell the people of their constituency? Do they have a face-to-face?
Absolutely. And you see, the point is that that is unfortunately the trajectory that West Bengal, that politics overall in our country has taken. We saw what happened in Maharashtra. We are seeing these cynical games being played day in and day out. West Bengal was relatively immune to these trends, say at least a decade earlier. But now West Bengal has also joined the bandwagon. And it is so cynical, this entire process that is being followed, where people, millions of people, because you're talking about 20 MPs, that is almost half of the parliamentary strength of West Bengal, for a large state like West Bengal, and you're talking about lakhs and lakhs of people who have voted for these MPs, only now to find out that they voted for them as from Trinamool Congress, and now this non-entity of a party suddenly becomes the party with the largest number of MPs in West Bengal. The 20 is more than the BJP strength. BJP, which is now the ruling.
Prasenjit, there's another question. If this has begun as some sort of a dangerous precedent, I mean, it has been tried earlier. We saw what happened in Maharashtra. Before that, you remember what happened in Arunachal in 2016. It was similar kind of a thing where PPA, they formed the government, and then later on, Congress was reduced to some mere 3 or 4 legislators, I remember. Is this a new kind of a conspiracy you see, which has begun from West Bengal? And what does it mean for the regional parties? Next year, we're going to have UP elections. What will happen to Samajwadi Party?
My point is that it is more than clear now that the BJP government is setting new standards in terms of misusing of state power to influence not only the electoral process, but also what Rahul Gandhi has very correctly pointed out, that it is not only now vote chori, it is now seat chori. So you can manipulate the numbers post-elections just by engineering defections and all of this amounts to a mockery of democracy. And I think that a strong antidote to this, a possible antidote, which several democracies across the world actually have this provision, which is called the right to recall. See, what is getting lost in this process is the people. You have parties, you have individual candidates, and people vote for both of them. In our system, they vote for a candidate from a political party. So it is a dual mandate. Both the mandate is for the party as well as for the candidate. Now the candidate is changing the party, or defecting or whatever. Ideally, in a scenario where morality and ethical concerns would prevail, which was the situation once in our country, then these people should have resigned and sought a fresh mandate. That is what should have been the honorable thing for them to do. A lot of Rajya Sabha MPs are doing it. So I would have said that they should have taken that path. But this defection, which is so cynical and so, it is against what the people's interests are and the people's wishes are, which is so anti-democratic. I think that the time has come for us to introduce this provision by changing our electoral laws, where if such a thing happens, then it makes it mandatory to take the of the people, the mandate of the people. If you want to defect, you cannot just do it and then strike some deal and life goes on as usual, and you are cynical towards the concerns of the people. You have to immediately seek a mandate from the people, and the people should have a right. If you are not doing it on your own, if I am a voter of one, in fact although I didn't vote for that candidate, but I am an elector in a constituency from where one of these 20 MPs are. So I am, as an elector, should have the right to start a process, a signature campaign, where I am recalling these MPs.
Right.
Their right to represent me, they're losing the right to represent me.
No provision. So you are right that there should be a right to recall, but there is no provision like that, and which is why this undue advantage is being taken. And who's going to see this political immorality which is brazenly playing out in the country? Do you think that the courts will take up this issue? Do you think the president is going to talk about it?
Well, I don't want to comment preemptively on what the judiciary would do, but if one goes by the recent judgments, I don't think that the Supreme Court has really, kind of even made an attempt to stem the rot that has already kind of, it runs very deep, and all these kind of completely ideology-less, cynical defections that are taking place just on the basis of vested interests that are taking place, they are being allowed. So what I am suggesting is that yes, I know that the right to recall doesn't exist under the Indian system and the Indian electoral laws. I am saying that whatever way we deal with this situation, we have to deal with it in terms of the existing laws. But we need electoral reforms. We need very serious in terms of how the elections are being funded, how the state power is being misused by the ruling party, destroying the level playing field, and how these defections are being engineered, and even the numbers are all getting distorted. So it's a mockery of democracy. So we need thoroughgoing reforms. I'm saying we should not be, but it is not that, you see, the fact that they are being able to bypass the laws in this manner,
Yes.
shows that the laws are not in keeping with, the kind of possibilities of subversive possibilities that exist in today's context.
No,
So
I
we should
mean,
learn lessons from that as well.
no, you're right that the need of the hour is the electoral reforms, but who's bothered about the electoral reforms? You see what all election
Oh,
commission is
well,
doing, but coming back, uh, sorry, you were saying something?
yeah. Well, my point is that if you're asking me whether I expect this government to bring about these electoral reforms, no, they are the ones who are trying to destroy our parliamentary democracy, destroy all the fundamental pillars of the Indian constitutional system, and one need not go into the other aspects in this discussion. But this is yet another that they don't care. So it's more than obvious that they're not going to do about it. They are the beneficiaries of this subversion. But those who cherish the values of democracy, those who think that the Indian constitution and our democracy needs to be safeguarded because it is a good thing. It works in the interests of the people, especially the interests of the weak, the marginalized, the voiceless. They need a proper democratic system to function. The rich people, the property classes, they don't need it. They can buy whatever they want. It is only the voiceless, the marginalized, the poor who wants democracy to function, because it is in their interest. So those people should think how our electoral system today needs to be reformed in the long run in order to make democracy more robust and prevent this kind of cynical misuse of our electoral laws and our parliamentary system.
I want to come back to the story where these 20 rebel MPs are merging with a strange outfit called NCPI. Now, what is the clarification which the rebel MPs are giving? They are saying that we wanted to move collectively and create a political space outside Mamata Banerjee's control without triggering unnecessary procedural hurdles. And the NCPI route offered a workable parliamentary solution. Now, do you think that this is, in a way, a credible explanation given by the rebel MPs, and they are trying to detach the parliamentary wing from Mamata's control?
See, that's what I'm saying. That I think that certainly the former chief minister, uh, she has a lot to answer why all this is happening. And my point is that she is paying for her own, wrong decisions or sins or whatever you say. The way she had run the government, the way she has formed this party, ultimately the chickens are coming home to roost. But the point I am trying to make is that supposing if these MPs, the case that they are trying to make is that we cannot be seen to be representing the Mamata Banerjee led All India Trinamool Congress anymore. That's their point. So if that is the case, and if they were honest, and if they had the interests of the people at heart, I think the honorable way for them was to just resign and say that, we were elected from these parties. Now this party is, its future, there's no future of this party. It has betrayed the trust of the people. It has lost the mandate of the people. Thereby we are resigning. And then take a next step. You either go and join NCPI or whatever party you want. You contest as an independent. You do whatever you want. Fine. I am okay with it. Provided you first resign. You, first of all, you don't want to resign. You want to defect. That means you are a selfish person who has absolutely no concern about the mandate, about the people who elected you, but you just want to keep your privilege, your parliamentary privilege, by perpetuating your mandate, by getting rid of the TMC Trinamool tag. So you actually wanted to join the BJP. The BJP is finding itself unable to accommodate because of their organizational compulsions. So what do? They go to plan B. They buy a party overnight and say that you take these MPs and you become the party with the largest number of MPs from West Bengal. So this is it's like a marketplace of political parties and representatives. It's a bazaar.
You're absolutely right. In the beginning, when you were making your submission, you said that these small outfits like NCPI, they are just like the shell political parties.
Yes.
And it seems that now BJP earlier was buying the MLAs or the MPs, and now they are buying a whole political party. The political parties are on sale, it seems.
Yes, they did the same thing in Maharashtra. They did the same thing. So that's what I'm saying, that earlier defection, defection is not new in India. So, and over time, the nature of defection and the incentives,
devices and the mechanisms are changing.
They have transformed over time. But now BJP is taking it to another level. They are creating a market which doesn't exist earlier. Earlier, there was a market of elected representatives. So every time there would be a vote of confidence, there will be a market of members of parliament. But BJP is creating a marketplace of political parties, So political parties are going bankrupt, political parties are winding up and exit. And then there are startup political parties. And, there's an entire marketplace of political parties, and people are just switching political parties on a day-to-day basis. This is, I think, very dangerous for our democracy, because while it appears to be, really, one cannot afford to be just cynical, because you just think that the next session of parliament, if all the legislations that the government tried to pass and all the votes that happened under this parliament, since 2024, that mandate now is getting distorted because of this. And if they are bringing back those legislations again and there is a fresh vote, and if it goes on like this, then my point is that the entire mandate of 2024 will be undone in this manner. So that is the death knell of democracy.
And you made a very important point. You made a very important point that they are trying to undo whatever labor and hard work which the opposition parties did. They tried to recover ground. They brought down the BJP to 240 seats, and they are trying to undo the 2024 mandate.
Yes, that is precisely what I am saying. That they are taking advantage of the misdeeds of the TMC in West Bengal, and they paid for their, whatever, their wrong policies and their corruption and all that. But now the elections happened 1 month back. Results have come. A new government is in place. Under democracy, the matter should stop there. But then you break the opposition party and convert it into His Majesty's opposition. So the Chief Minister of West Bengal, so the BJP is not only forming the government, the BJP is also forming the opposition. So the first time you come to power in West Bengal, you murder democracy.
Have you ever seen or read in the past any government of the world choosing opposition and forming their own government? It's like choosing their own.
And the fact that it is happening in the state of West Bengal, which has seen bloodshed in the name of democracy, which is where elections have been fought and won, and democracy is a very important component of the electoral debate in West Bengal. And there you see that when the BJP is claiming that they are trying to utilize democracy to get rid of an undemocratic government, in the process they are just converting this into a banana republic. You just have you are choosing your opposition, and now you are using that to now break the opposition in parliament as well.
Absolutely.
So, this is the thing that it is shame on the BJP. Shame on the BJP. The chief minister on just imagine, he is supposed to run the state now. He's a newly elected chief minister. He is making trips to Delhi and having midnight meetings with these dissident MPs, trying to work out how to. Is this the priority of a newly elected chief minister?
No,
to break your
what happened yesterday. But so, Prasenjit, yesterday was a Sunday. Om Birla meeting the dissident MPs yesterday on a Sunday, and you remember Election Commission refused to meet any of them. The MPs who wanted to meet. So I mean,
So that is the whole point. The basic problem is that the way our constitutional authorities, they are behaving, be it the office of the speaker, the chair of the speaker, be it the Election Commission of India, and at times even the judiciary. I don't think that despite all kinds of extreme attacks on our democratic system being launched, nobody is coming to its rescue, and it seems that people have forgotten shame. They're not even ashamed to do all this. And the media, I'm obviously meaning the mainstream media, they seem to be celebrating this. Everybody is having a laugh at it, in social media, but nobody is considering the consequences of all of this for our democratic system. And I would say that that is the tragic component of this entire.
No, it is indeed. It's almost like democracy on sale in our country. But let me ask you the last question before I wind up, Prasenjit. What is the way out in terms of solution? We are all seeing this bloodshed, the bloodbath of democracy, how votes are looted, how the seats are looted now. I mean, there is no end to this kind of a bloodshed, the bloodshed in democracy. How does one arrest this trend? Is there any way out to arrest this? Because it's become more and more brazen, and new methods, new methodology, new devices are coming up to circumvent the laws and go as unconstitutional as the ruling party can be.
Well, I would say three things. Number one is that to whatever extent possible, these things should be questioned in the appropriate legal and political platforms within Parliament, before the Supreme Court, and so on. And at least the matter should be raised as a matter of debate. That look at what the consequences of all this are. You may be going by the letter of the law, but there is also something called the constitutional spirit, the spirit of the law. So is this in democratic spirit? So I think that that's one aspect, that the fight should be on. We should not give up ever. Second is that I think that the actual opposition parties, including the Congress and all the other parties who are interested in protecting democracy in our country, I think this is the real time for us to step up our outreach within the people, mobilize the people, and ultimately who is the genuine opposition gets determined in the street. It doesn't get determined on the basis of these willing dealings in behind closed doors. So we should be proactive in taking up the issues and hitting the streets among the people. But finally, I think that at the end of the day, this is a crisis I don't think is limited to India. This is something which all liberal democracies all over the world are facing today. That there is a huge alienation that is happening vis-a-vis liberal democracy itself, and it's a very complicated thing. I just want to say that unless and until I am more optimistic about the new generation, that I think our generation or many people have taken democracy for granted, and we will have to pay an enormous price for taking democracy for granted. Like liberty, democracy also needs eternal vigilance. So I think that the new generation, this the way these Gen Z protests are happening, and the rights-based protests are happening, I think in the days to come, the question of electoral reforms, the question of who is representing us, where political parties are getting financed and all that. So if those larger structural questions have to be addressed in order to break this cynicism and think in terms of real structural change and serious reforms of the system.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure having you, Prasenjit. Thank you so much for a lovely conversation. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye.